Yeah, g'day viewers. It's Shane here from the Queensland Honda Rally Owners Group, based in southeast Queensland in Australia. I've been unable to put any videos together for about the last 6 weeks due to a fractured fibula, and yeah, you guessed it, it was done on the bike in the bush. But what I'd like to take this opportunity to do is to review the Honda. I first purchased it along with a mate Daryl. We purchased two in June of 22, so they're over 3 years old now. We immediately put on some suspension upgrades and a few engine upgrades to make it breathe a little better. And I'd just like to do a review. I'm on 33,000 kilometres now, and the only thing that has gone wrong with the bike is a fork seal. One fork seal. That's pretty good for 33,000 kilometres. The suspension we put Andriani fork cartridges up the front, and we put the canister style YSS shock in the back. I've recently had those serviced, and there was nothing wrong with them. They were in good order. It was just time for a service after 3 years. At 26,000 kilometres, I did a major service on checking valves, checking swing arm bearings and so on. And the good news was that there was actually some grease in the swing arm bearings, but that's been cleaned out and replaced. They didn't need replacing, just the grease, and that's been excellent. So I've had no trouble there. I've never had the bike not start. It even with a gut full of water after dropping it into a creek, it started up straight away. It's been nothing but reliable. The 22mm risers that I put on along with Henry Reed bars have been flawless. The AliExpress alloy shortened levers, which fit inside the Acerbis handguards really well, worked a treat. So there's been nothing wrong with it. Nothing's gone. It's been dropped 50 times now, but they seem to be quite how do they say, put up with harsh treatment in the bush. And as for the way they perform, I'm still in love with this machine. It's fantastic to ride in the bush. The tighter the going, the better it goes, especially in really muddy or greasy conditions where the big bikes have lots of trouble because of their sheer amount of power that they're trying to put down onto a surface that won't accept it. The Hondas just do beautifully. They put it down to the ground softly. I think that's combined with the thinner tyre and probably my extra weight as well, seems to cut through the mud quite well, far better than the larger bikes, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me on that. As for the rest of the bike, there's been nothing broken. Strangely, the fork seal went at about 3 years. So, and at the same time, there was about 3 or 4 other bikes that a fork seal went on that were purchased at about the same time. So my theory is that, the rubber's just lived its life at that stage. In about 3 years, it appears that once you're doing service to your forks, replace the seals, because I think it's just wearing out. The material's not standing up anymore. Tyres, I'm still sticking with the Pirelli MT21 on the front and the Dunlop D606 on the back. I think that combo works well for me. It does. I'm very happy with it. It's predictable. It gives lots of feel. And the other thing I like about that combo is it also goes well on the road, even if it's raining, when you're on the way to where you're going to ride off road. So that's been excellent. Very pleased with those. I'll be sticking with those. I did change the 550 stage 2.1 ECU for Triple S one at one point, but I felt, in my view, that the 550 was better for me. I just felt it was better for me, so I've changed it back to the 550. The DNA air filter has been a joy. I mean, it's easy to clean, easy to maintain, and those of you that know me, of course, know that I swallow a lot of dust on these rides, so yeah. As some of my friends say, I don't even need to change it or service it. That's been really good. The Moto X stainless steel exhaust, full system, now that we paid about $300 Australian for, it's been fantastic and done well. really pleased with how the engine is. It still sounds good, tight. Valves were still within spec, and very pleased with the bike. I'll be sticking with this bike. We often say that even if Honda came out with a 450 Rally tomorrow that was affordable for the masses, I think we'd stick with the 300. It would be nice as a 350. I'll be honest, a little bit more might be good, but the thing is, you're not using fully the power that's there now. There's still more to go. There's still a lot more to go. And for a person of my vintage, I'm heading towards 70. This seems to be the bike. It's really good. I'm seeing a lot of people downsizing to these bikes. They were once viewed as a novice's bike or a learner's bike, but set up well, they can go very hard in the bush. There's no doubt about that. So that's about where we are with the Honda. Hardware-wise, and the seat and everything else is all held up beautifully. I don't have any issues with that. I've never bothered putting any engine bars. Two little tiny improvements I made was a rubber flap down in front of the linkages that pinches up underneath the B&B bash plate when you go to put the screws in the back. Just slot this in. It hangs down in front of the linkages, and that seems to really help with stone damage to the linkages. I've had a few guys have seen it, and they've installed it on their own bikes, and it works really well. And the other one is, if you go to the hardware and get about a round rubber, about 20 mil, and cut a length of it that fits between the B&B bash plate and the plastics at the front, pull it tight, sit it down in there, and it puffs up, and it seals it from mud going in. So you're not getting that mud in between the bash plate and the plastics, the lower plastics. And I'll continue to do that. It's worked well from day one. And both of those improvements were like really a couple of dollars each, $4 each. Worked really well. The front screen's getting a little bit scratched, but we ride through a lot of Lantana in southeast Queensland. I don't know whether where you're watching, whether you'll know what that is, but it's a pretty abrasive plant, and it started to scratch that up a bit. But everything else about the bike is good. Plastics are good. I've had no problem with it. Fingers crossed that continues, and I hope to have this little Honda for many years to come. And I think it's one of the best decisions I ever made as I get on in years. When let's face it, we get weaker. We're not able to pick up the big girls anymore or wrestle them through the bush, and that's what I like about the Honda. It's less fatiguing. You can come home from a ride and you could do it again straight up. It's straight over again. Really, really good. And I recently took it on a 3,000 kilometre trip to the south over 8 days. And it went really well. I went with two bikes and two 701 Husqvarnas, and they were beautiful, really, really good. The only thing they don't do, of course, very well is highways and motorways, but hey, that's to be expected. It's a single of 286 cc's. But what it does do is encourage you to take the back roads. Take the back roads down to where you're going. Take more off-road. Take more dirt roads. And let's face it, that's what they're made for. Well, that's the update at 33,000 kilometres. I hope to be able to do this again at 44,000 kilometres, and hope to report that it's still going as well as it has done. Have a great Christmas, everyone, and stay upright. We'll see you out in the tracks.